Hey, everybody. Welcome to Navel Gazing, the Valley Indy podcast. My name is Eugene Driscoll of valleyindy.org. That is a nonprofit online newspaper covering Derby, Ansonia, and the town of Seymour. Just want to make sure we are actually live. Yes, this is live. That's my dog barking upstairs. I apologize for that. Let me get rid of the during this broadcast. You can support my page by sending stars, because Facebook makes it next to impossible for you to actually support this publication. I should probably go see what my dog is barking at. But next week, May 3rd, May 4th, the Great Give is coming up. And it's the one time I ask you, I plead with you, but I work for it, to please donate to the Valley Indy. Donate.valleyindy.org during the Great Give next week. Have to raise $10,000. $10,000 in 36 hours. I will be doing a live stream. I've lined up a whole bunch of guests for the Great Give next week. I'm recording this year. I'm doing something a little bit different since there's just one of me. I'm recording something like 6 or 7 interviews in advance to post during the Great Give. So I will be live in long chunks, and you can log on to this page or our YouTube page or Twitter to watch interviews with various nonprofits and public officials. Hey, I'm trying to get Pat Oates on, the Ansonia stand-up comic. I sent him a message. I want him to come on. He's funny. I haven't heard back. I don't know why I'm looking like this, but I haven't heard back from him. If anybody knows Pat Oates, Ski Mask said we should work together, Pat. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's about 5:52 in 8 minutes. The Derby Board of Apportionment and Taxation is expected to meet on Zoom. I've got the page open here. The meeting has not started just yet, but I believe they've met every day this week to try to finalize a Derby budget. They're on a deadline of Friday to get something done. The budget, the preliminary budget, which was the mayor's budget, approved April 18th, was $47.5 million with a 0.4 mill rate decrease. Would bring the mill rate, if adopted as is, to 38.2. That means a property, a single family home assessed at $160,000 would pay about $64 less in taxes next year. There was a discussion last night about there was a long discussion. There's been discussion all week, sort of by members of the Board of Apportionment and Taxation, questioning some of the financial data in the budget document. And there were 2 areas where perhaps members of the boat were thinking about adding some more money. The school district was one, and the other was to a line item related to capital expenses. They want to throw a couple more dollars into that as well. So that'll probably come up tonight. That's 2 things to keep an eye out on. There was some talk by Walt Mayhew, the mayor's chief of staff, that adding money in those 2 areas could raise the mill rate. We'll see. I did get some pushback on that statement after my story published about it, but we'll see if that comes up again. Derby Schools had asked for a 4.29% increase in funding to its current total $19.1 million budget. If you look at the city contribution, just what the city contributes, the current budget is $12.3 million from Derby to the school district, and then there's a lot of outside funds that come in. This budget, which would go into effect July 1st, if it's passed by Friday, would go from $12.3 million to the schools to 12.5 million, 1.6% increase. If you look at the bottom line of the Derby budget, overall it's a 1% budget to budget increase when you factor in local funds from Derby, and then funds from the state, and funds from all the other various sources. See, my daughter is in the next room. I think she's going to go outside. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. It's a 1-person newsroom. There's a lot going on, and it's me and my daughter right now, home alone. So if anybody wants to read or leave any comments during this broadcast, you can do so. I will display them on the screen if I see them. Just keep in mind that this is actually a Zoom meeting. I'm on StreamYard. Carol Ford has a question. Go ahead and ask, Carol. Meeting's going to begin in 4 minutes. But just keep in mind the people in the meeting, the public officials, the boat, the mayor, everybody, they're not seeing this. unless they have this on another screen. I mean, they very well could, but this isn't. I'm not at the meeting streaming it. I'm stealing the feed from Zoom and then feeding it to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. What else can I say about the Derby budget before we go? I mean, well, the other thing going on, in addition, I mean, next week is obviously the Great Give. Donate.valleyindy.org, May 3rd and May 4th. Donate.valleyindy.org. Tomorrow night, the city of Ansonia is scheduled, the mayor is scheduled to unveil a budget. That meeting is going to be on Zoom as well. Thursday, April 27th at 6:30 p.m. I will try to live stream that as well. Last I checked, the budget wasn't online, which is annoying because it's much easier to have the budget when it's unveiled so you can go through it. Is the population going up or down in Derby? Also, what about the number of students in public schools, up or down? Okay, generally speaking, according to what has been said this week, the school population has declined over, say, the last 10 years. But since October, they've had an increase. So you have Chris Carloni, a member of the boat, pointing out that it looks like the student population has gone down. He said about 200 students. So the school budget is on the school budget website, and I posted it previously on the Valley Indy. I don't have it in front of me, so this is just going from memory. But you have Dr. Conway of the school district countering Chris Carloni. Conway says that while the school district has gone down, we've reduced our staffing. So he's saying all the staffing is in line with the student population, which is currently on an uptick, at least since October. So the other thing that you hear at every school district in every town and city across the United States of America, including Derby, is that special education costs are expensive. So that's my off the top of my head answer to that. Carol Ford. I'm going to share the screen right now. Would it be this one? Oh, looks like it's underway. So let's get into it. You're welcome. Thank you for the question, Carol.
What's up, Jim? How you doing?
Good home stretch.
I'm well, thank you. All right.
And I'll shut up and take myself off the screen once the meeting starts.
All right, Louise.
Which sounds about now.
Get the agenda.
Restarting the meeting, it's now 6.
All right. What? I'm just trying to get the agenda up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still working on the agenda. We'll call a meeting to order. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Or yeah.
This meeting is being recorded.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America, the Republic which stands,
the Republic,
nation, under God,
God, indivisible, with liberty,
liberty,
justice,
justice
for all.
for all.
6:00 p.m.
Perfect. And I get the agenda here. Roll call, please.
Mr. Alberta,
Present.
Mr. Carloni,
Present.
Mr. Roche,
Present.
Mr. Gray,
Present.
Ms. Mancini Wright,
Present.
Ms. Orizetti,
He's excused for tonight. She let me know.
Patel,
Here.
Ms. Bertoso, Mr. Santos,
Here.
Ms. Simmons Derby, Ms. Simmons Derby, we have 7 people. What the heck is that?
All right. Hang on. Still trying to get to the right one. 26.
You want me to put that?
Sorry, I'm still trying to get the agenda. It's the 20.
It's the 27th. You want me to put it up?
Right. Agenda. There it is. All right. So roll call. Special meeting for the 26th. Public portion. Anybody from the public like to speak?
I would.
Name and address, Jim. You know the routine.
Yes, sir. Thank you. My name is Jim Gilday. I'm calling, I live at 11 Academy Hill Road in Derby. I did want to just again thank everyone on the tax board for your service. Greatly appreciated as a taxpayer and a longtime Derby resident. I also wanted to again just ask if it would be possible for the tax board to consider getting us just a little bit closer to our request. I would like to just respond to one comment or a few comments that had gotten made. One comment that was made is the Board of Education has less students now than they did, let's say, 10 years ago. But I really want to dwell on that if I could for a minute or two. The city of Derby, if you look at their numbers from 2010 to 2021, have almost 700 less people in the town. And with 700 less people, I would tell you that our Water Pollution Control Authority budget, our Derby Public Works budget, our police budget, our fire department budget, our Derby Public Works budget, our library budget, if you look at those budgets, they increase. And as a taxpayer, I'm okay with that. I'm not advocating anything other than what has happened. I'm just telling you, like the Board of Education, the city of Derby has seen 700 people move out of our town, and yet every budget that I mentioned goes higher. That's normal. That's to be expected. Salaries increase, benefits increase, supplies increase, utilities increase, the cost of doing business increases. Heck, in my own house, I have 4 less people now than I did 5 years ago, and my electricity's higher, my water's higher. So again, I will tell you, the fact that the Derby Board of Education has less students now than they did 10 years ago runs parallel to what happens in the city, a city that has 700 less people. But again, their water pollution control bill goes up, their the water pollution bill goes up, the public works budget, police, fire, it's normal, it's to be expected. So I just wanted to address that one comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anybody else from the public?
I just want to make it known that Ms. Isa Simmons Derby is on the call.
Thank you, Roberto. Anybody else from the public would like to speak? Anybody else from the public?
Sarah Wadomski.
There you go, Sarah. Go ahead.
Sarah Wadomski, 95 Academy Hill Road. First, I also want to extend my thanks to the boat for all the volunteer time and effort you have given to this budget process. It is certainly appreciated. Tonight, I want to ask the boat to take a look and fund the general capital line item at $200,000, not the $64,726 that is recommended. There are many capital requests that have been waiting years to be funded, and not all of those items will qualify for ARPA funding. So we want to make sure that we have adequate capital funds available for those projects that are not ARPA eligible. Again, I ask that you consider funding the capital line item as it has been historically at $200,000. Thank you again for your time and service to the city of Derby. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Anybody else from the public like to speak? Anybody else from the public like to speak? Third and last call. Hearing none, we're gonna move on to number 5, deliberation on 2023, 2024 proposed budget. Expenses and revenue. Let's go to I think we ended off in the revenue part yesterday, Roberto.
Yeah.
So we get back to that. I know you guys wanted to digest that a little bit and come back today. So. Any discussion on what you're looking at?
We're mostly looking at expenditures instead of the revenue.
Well,
You want to go to
finish
expenditure?
the revenue?
Jen, please, Jen, can I run this meeting, please? So Roberto, do you want to go to the expenditure or revenue first, or do you want to go back to the expenditures?
No, let's finish the revenues
Okay.
and
All
then,
right, I got other people chirping in right now. I just want to make sure we get on the same board here. So, all right, so we're gonna do the revenue first. Hopefully we can get through this and then we can go back to the expenditure. All right. So if you want to start, you got questions? Is Nancy's on, I think.
I'm here.
Yep. How you doing, Nance?
Very good. How are you?
Good. Any questions on the revenue?
Where did we leave off yesterday? Do we remember?
You guys didn't even approach the revenue. You were still debating over the capital and the education expenditures.
No, we approached it because we were talking about property taxes.
So go from there.
Go ahead. You were talking 97, 99, you know. You were talking MFACT. Go ahead, Jen. You got all your info.
Okay, so basically, we were talking yesterday, and I thought that Nancy said that it was 99, even though we told MFAC 97. So
Okay,
Nancy.
so that's
A
from March.
clarification, the only number 97 was mentioned was based on the fact that as of 3/30/2023, our current collections were at 97%, including the transition income from the state of Connecticut. 97% never played into anything other than that. I don't know where you're getting your numbers from. We have consistently earned between 98.6 and 100 plus on our revenue side for the last 15 years.
Okay, so where are we counting for the prior year taxes? That's going in a separate line item.
That's a separate line item.
So why would we say to MFAC that it was 97%?
Because we have currently collected current taxes for this current fiscal year of 97%. But I will go back to what I said last night. This does not pertain to this budget. This is the current year we're working in. We're working on adopting a budget for next year. We are
but
90.
the percentages are the percentages. So if we're always saying it's 99%, but in all actuality, we're only collecting 97%, that's what I'm asking.
Well, it's March 31st when those reports were issued. At March 31st, we got 97%. General consensus and actually the historical data says we collect between $600 and $1 million between April 1st and 6/30 on every single year. I had the tax office run the numbers, which puts us at our 99%. Today's numbers are not the issue. Going forward is consistently over the last 15 years, you have achieved that percentage rate. And again, thanks to the taxpayers.
Jen, do you understand that? Or do you need to be explained that again?
No, I'm fine.
No, what line item are we looking at when we're explaining that? Those are the taxes that are collected.
The first line item for tax, let me pull my budget out so I make sure I mention it correctly. Hold on.
And this is the revenue side, correct?
Yes. It would be line item 6,000. The property taxes are 6,610, 6,100. And that would be your current personal property tax, real estate, and personal or motor vehicle. Supplemental comes in a different line item, and prior year taxes also listed separately.
Yeah, it's close enough. Okay.
Anything else on revenue?
Yes. Let's see, the town clerk's receivables, the increase of the 100,000.
Again, that was addressed last night. We told you that the last 3 years were a 40% increase and a 20% increase. We kept it flat as last year's actual. Yes, we don't know if we're going to get that, but it's reasonable to believe that we will.
Mark, is that reasonable?
You can't tell. I mean, it's just, the reality is, I mean, you can't tell. I mean, it does, you know, like this year probably will get to 350. Last year was 400. I mean, it's a guess. It depends on so many factors.
How many people die? How many births? How many houses are sold?
Any other questions on it?
Just the parking garage. We have a $40,000 increase. How does LAZ come into this? How are they still managing it? What's going
Yes,
on?
they-
There's a contract with Laz. We pay them $13.75 per month. We have seen higher revenues than I saw in the past years. And the numbers are based on what their current revenue is coming in. And considering the fact that when they took over, we had to pick up expenditures that are non-reoccurring, next year will even be higher. But again, a very conservative number on what we expect to see.
So you say we pay him $13.75 a month. I guess I just don't know how this actually works. So a
Okay,
quick
well, we're trying to explain
explanation
to you.
would be
We're
fine
trying to
enough.
explain to you, Trent. Yeah, we're trying to explain to you, so.
Yeah,
You
well,
understand- you
I'm
understand.
not understanding. That's why I'm continuing.
Well, I know you're not understanding a lot, but we're trying to help you with this, but
So-
we've got Laz in there, with all our contracts and everything that they've been doing. We've been making more money, and we pay them a vig to manage all this stuff for us. So it's, you know, we're paying a little bit, but we're making more.
So the $13.75 is a management fee.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so probably the last one I have is the tax pilot development line, but I vaguely
state-
think I saw that on the state's website on their,
That's a
But-
state funded item. That is what they've said we're going to get. If the state changes their budget, it could change. Again, the state doesn't adopt until May.
okay.
Louise, I just wanted to let you know that we have Rose Pertoso on the call.
Thank you.
Hi, Rose. That's excellent.
Hi.
Anything else on revenue?
I think I'm set.
All right, so if we're good with revenue, do you want? Okay, so we'll go to expenditures now. I think there was a question on capital and Board of Ed. Those are the two I remember.
Yes,
So capital.
They wanted to increase one line.
So
item.
Jen wants to put 200,000 on there for
General
unknown
capital.
stuff. Right, so unknown stuff that possibly might happen and add more tax money to the citizens, if that's what I'm understanding here. And basically,
The general capital, we have it at
Right.
64,726. I wanted to see if we could make a motion to bring it up 135,274 up to 200.
for the purpose of just holding money there to, in case something happens, and you want to add more money to the taxpayer, right?
It's not going to be, probably stay the same or 0.1 if that.
Really? Okay. I don't see it, but I see
Okay.
an increase is an increase.
Let me just mention something.
Can I?
When you
what-
guys, let me
can we-
mention something.
Go ahead,
When you
Nancy,
guys,
go ahead.
when you guys refer to a mill, you need to understand we are capped at 32.46 on motor vehicle. So that doesn't move. So when you think you're changing it by a certain percentage, that's not what's happening. Because the only thing I can change the tax revenue on based on your mill rate change is personal property and real estate. So you need to subtract out the DMV, current motor vehicle, in order to calculate that. So you guys are a little off on those numbers.
Okay. What is the mill rate if we add the 135,274?
If you added the two things, let me go over in my spreadsheet. If you added the two things, which would be upping the capital to 200K and the 232,000 plus to the Board of Ed.
We should probably do one of these at a time instead of.
Yeah, let's do.
I can switch it out, but right now with both of them brings the mill rate to 39.02. Let me back off the numbers on the expenditure and take the Board of Ed out of that picture and come back with that number.
If my calculations are right, a mill, based on what the numbers I have, a mill is right around 800,000, no?
That's without that you're calculating in DMV. DMV is offset because it's capped at 32.46, and our mill rate is 40 change. So there's a difference between the two. You actually have to put a little bit more math into it. Simple math would work normally if we didn't have a DMV cap.
Mr. Mayor, could I just, our mill rate.
Hang on. I want Nancy to finish out these calculations before we go.
Okay, but it's, our mill rate is not 40 and change.
No, it's 38.
38,
38.6.
Yeah.
which I apologize for mistaking the number.
No problem.
Nancy, could you put the calculations on the screen so that we could see them?
I don't have access to Mark's computer.
Can
can-
you share yours? Yours?
I could let you share yours.
Give me a minute to figure this out.
On the bottom of the screen, there should be a green icon.
I realize that, but I need to get to the point where I want something that you can see that actually makes sense to you. So Mark, walk me through that. I'm looking at this and I don't see that little button.
So if you hover over.
Oh,
the
I just got it.
Yeah, if you hover over the main screen, it should say share screen,
Yep.
and then
All right, so what do you got now?
38.71 with the change that you made. That gives us $871 to plug into somewhere where you want to go. And that's just with the increase of the 200K to 200K in the capital.
So it's an increase of 1/10 of a mil, not 1 mil.
That's
No, point
just,
1. Yeah, Eugene misquoted that. So it's 0.1 mil increase, but it's still a increase.
it's,
No, but I think from what Mr. Gray was saying, that's obviously a big difference, 1 mil versus 1/10 of a mil.
It was never 1 mil. It's 1/10 of a mil, but it's still an increase.
but
More money.
But when you add the 232,277 to the Board of Ed, you'll see the change. We'll have to adjust that to 39.02. It's not a full mill increase, but it's still an increase either way.
So minus, Nance, can you do minus the capital and
If I
just
put the capital
board?
back the way it was,
Yeah.
bear with me.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time. We had 3 hours last night. I'm sure.
I hate having people watch me over my shoulder. Now I've got 20 people watching me over my shoulder.
Don't worry about it.
Not a problem. That's the line item is 3,700, correct?
3,700, correct.
Let me get there. So if I switch that back to, and what did I have previously? 68. It was at 6,800?
No, 67.
4, 726.
64,
64?
726, correct.
You guys have more paperwork in front of you than I do. Well, maybe not so much. So the effect on that brings it down to 38.71, gives us an increase of 71, so it brings it right back down to
It did.
38 point.
But that didn't change anything at all when you just did that.
No, it
Yes, it
didn't.
did.
No, it didn't. Surplus is still
No, it didn't.
871.
No, because before it was 47,000,005 something. So if you got to take the 200,000 out of that to make it 47,7 something.
Let me make sure that took effect, 237. Get back to the overall.
It still says surplus deficit.
All right, Jen, stop. Jen, relax, Jen, please.
Jen, at that point in time, it is actually back to a almost balanced budget because we took the change out.
The number's the same.
But if you look at the original amount that was adopted is 47,500,000. This number says 47,927. So that's a 4. That looks like every if you put both of them in there.
Right, so we need that 100 and something, 30 something thousand out from capital. I want to see what the Board of Ed increase was.
That's not in there right now. You told me to take that out.
Yeah.
You want to see the Board of Ed? You want me to put that in there?
No.
But the board, Nancy, could you go back to your summary sheet because the summary
Sure.
sheet looks problematic. If you go to cell 9B or 10B, it says 47,927. So 47.
That is driven by what the Excel spreadsheet says. You guys gave me a number. I plugged it in there. Maybe your number was incorrect. Let me go back and put it through based on my numbers that I have on my reports. Seriously. It's the right number. It matches up with everything but budget.
So it's 40.
We may just want to double check the Board of Ed line item.
I'm checking that right now.
So it's supposed to be, it was supposed to be initially my budget was 47,559,809. That's correct.
So, removing the education. Going back up to 3,700. I may have done something in the process. Changing the 200 or the whatever. We've got the board miscellaneous got $200,000. Okay. That number doesn't look right to me. Sorry. Well, yeah, because we have the
Don't worry.
200,000. No, we have the $200,000 in there. Yes. You want to remove that $200,000 out of there?
Just
Just
make
leave
it
the original.
60.
67, 64.
726.
That's not changing.
No, so I'm trying to figure out when we started this, it was 40.
Let me reopen this file. There might be something on an error on this file. Let me reopen it. I'm, again, I apologize.
Is
No,
that
no
what I
problem. If we can just go back to my budget, 47,559,809, and then go from, forget the capital, put it back where it was, and then I'd like to do with the Board of Ed, and then we'll do with capital, so they can see what the increases are gonna be.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Yep, no problem. Take your time.
Unfortunately, I'm at the beck and call of our server.
No problem.
Thank you, Nancy.
No
Not a problem.
Hey, Roberto, congratulations on your fourth degree.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
I
know,
feel-
I'm third. I haven't done that yet, but that's a good accomplishment. Good job.
Yeah, we're looking at patriotism now, helping out the veterans and community.
You know, that's what we need, brother. Keep
Yes.
helping our vets out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you so much for what you do. That's amazing.
thank you.
That is definitely amazing.
And don't forget Memorial Day. We're gonna be doing the flags for all the cemeteries too. So we're going to put that out. Hopefully, get a good crowd again this year.
Yes, yes. I'll
Where
see if
does
I-
that take place?
The week before, we usually try like Monday or Tuesday before Memorial Day, so it's up there a week or so before.
I'll
Okay,
collaborate.
nice.
Yeah, and we'll get that out to everybody.
Yeah, let me know ahead of time. I'll probably see what the Knights of Columbus can do to chip in.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time.
And then,
Drum roll, please.
Jim, what are you eating? Looks good.
Wouldn't we all like to be doing that right now?
Broccoli Rob.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
I'm jealous.
Did you make it yourself? Awesome.
Okay,
Is-
what you have in
is it-
front of you right now, once it's shared. Can you guys all see this?
Yep.
Okay, this is after you guys turn around and put in 232, 277 into the Board of Ed and up the capital general line item to 200,000. I'm going to go through and try and reverse it again Again, I'm at the call of my server. So the first thing you want to see is both of them come out, right?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody's fingers crossed that it actually works.
You might wanna, Nancy, may I offer some feedback?
Sure.
You might wanna hit the enable editing part, because it's probably not taking things, that's probably why.
Oh. You guys got it back again?
Yep.
Okay. So, back to where we were. Board of Ed. We're gonna take out the 232,270. As you see right there, it gives me a surplus of the 757,000 when I take that off. When I go back over to the 3,700. And you want that at 67.
64, 726. The mill rate's still at 39.02.
Wait, Jen,
And
you
please,
didn't notice it didn't change my surplus deficit. So there's something wrong with my formula. That's not carrying
Good.
forward.
If I could, I think the Board of Ed number is still elevated. The original number that I have from the mayor's budget was 12,510,000. And I think it was 12,720 something on this.
$12,000,000.
So I think that 12,742,277 represents the 232,277 added on to the 12,510. That's the number I have. The original mayor budget was 12,510.
I got 12, wait a minute, I got 9. 12,510, yes,
The original, adopted number,
yes.
because really, don't forget, you're talking about what you already adopted.
I will step back and say to you, honestly, you are correct. Yes, that does include the number. I'm not the only person that edit these numbers, so you are correct.
So 12,510.
Yeah, no worries. Just want to
No,
make sure we
I have
start
it in front of me right
from
now.
the ground.
Now, who was that caught that, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Okay. All right, so there we go. Where we at now?
No, it still needs to be adjusted. Because your original expenditure was 47,559.
Right.
It is showing a mill rate reduction of 0.4 though,
Well,
where there's a formula that's funky.
I have to change the mill rate in there, so this is not my spreadsheet. I'm using someone else's. And unfortunately, I'm going to paper too. So that's correct as well.
So that's a,
Is it possible that it's still tying back to the percent increase for the Board of Ed on the side there?
No, I don't think so, but I'm gonna take a look at that right now. Difference. I didn't change anything else in the formulas. You know, you're gonna have to come back to this, go to something else in the meeting. Let me check these formulas out. When I make those changes, it should come up to 47,559,809.
right,
And that's the number that we submitted.
right.
Well, that's if you had the capital.
No, that's, the mayor's budget should be that budget no matter what.
For all the line items that we did,
We
minus
did not,
those two.
the only changes you guys have previously made to the budget were a net effective 0 because you moved it out of a line item and put it into working capital. There's something wrong with the spreadsheet. I cannot say it's working right now because it should have come up correctly and it's not.
Right, if you take capital and the Board of Ed back
I
to
took them
0,
out.
it should equal out to 47,559,809, and then we could have went from there. So for
And
some-
it's
some
not
reason-
doing that. So if you guys can move forward on something else, let me find out where that $95,000 is in there and correct it, and then move forward with this after. I apologize.
No, and Nance, I mean, like I said, it's not your
Sure.
spreadsheet. I mean, the only questions, if we have to go to expenditures, is the 200,000 on capital and the Board of Ed. So,
Correct. I know I don't mind waiting to clarify and confirm the numbers.
is it 95,000 over, Nance?
It's off by 95,000, yes.
Is that the HR?
No, that should make a difference because HR went from HR
Yes.
89,000 over to working capital.
Right.
I will check those two numbers.
I'm trying to
Through
think
the
of anything else.
spreadsheet.
Pearl, can you think of anything on?
Nothing else should have changed.
Oh,
No, it was just those two on the expenditures.
hopefully there's some young children watching this. See, math is important.
It is important.
Right, Doc?
Everything you learn in school, you'll use later in life. You may not know it until you're 50 years old, but it does come into play.
We're doing a $47 million budget. So let me tell you, it's important.
It's what we learned in scouts.
There you go. Nancy, whose spreadsheet? Is this Mark's spreadsheet?
I'm gonna open the spreadsheet.
Says Walt on the top.
Pardon me?
It says Walt's on the top.
That just said it's Walters.
It's Walters, okay.
Let me close something out and go back to a new one.
19.
Where's Walter?
Okay, I know why I can't make any changes in it.
All right.
It's actually open on his computer. Let me pull up another file that's not the same one that I was using and see if I can modify it in that direction.
So Nance, did you put all the expenses back to the original numbers?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Right. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna have to do this manually here. The spreadsheet has something going on with it. It's not bringing the formulas over. It's not linking. I can manually do it through here. If you don't mind giving me a second to get a calculator, because I'm gonna have to do it manually.
Go ahead, Vance.
So you want to go back to the original that what we had, correct?
Correct.
So Nancy, could you just explain the formula? Maybe I can do it. I'm gonna do a quick spreadsheet here to do it.
Which part of the formula?
Well, what is the formula, right? So you
The
have
formula-
you
This
have the-
spreadsheet has several formulas. Which formula are you referring to?
Well, you need at the end of it, you need the bottom line expenditures, and then you need the calculation for the mill rate. So what is that? Like, because you have 1 mill rate for the real estate and the personal property, right? And then you have a cap mill rate for the motor
Give me
vehicle.
a second. I'll email that over to you.
Okay, I'm happy to help.
I have some hold music going as we wait for the city to get the budget doc in place.
Having dessert before dinner.
What was that, Roberto? I'm sorry.
An only and a cup of coffee. Having dessert before dinner.
Go ahead. If we can get it done tonight, this is good. Let's get it, get all the numbers correct. And at least see what we have a possibility.
So anybody watching at home, what's
Sounds
happening right
good.
now, they're just having problems with their budget document. I guess the actual file, accessing it and changing information. So that's what's going on right now. So I'm playing music.
I'm going to try this one more time.
Yum, yum. Jeszcze raz. Nance, did you send it to me?
I wasn't able to send it to you, but I'm having a problem with my internet, so, but what I did do was reopen another folder and I'm gonna share it with you. I shared you the wrong one. Okay. Mark, you with me on this?
All right, Nancy, we got that, so.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. I'm
Hi,
trying to-
Mark.
How you doing? Good.
You have it on the screen?
Yep, you're sharing it.
Okay. All of the formulas are based on these numbers. You can plug in the revenue here and the expenditures here. The revenue, we haven't changed. We're gonna go manual on this because there's something wrong with the spreadsheet. So 4,7. And our expenditures, you want back at the regular rate of the same, correct? 4,7.
All right, good.
So in order to generate the revenue, the mill rate is 38 point, our current rate is 38
2. Okay, so no, I think the board wants to see, let's go with, they want to add the 200,000 to capital.
135, 274.
That doesn't work.
So let me ask you the question.
Go ahead,
And may I ask a question?
Yes.
please.
Yeah, I know. So the thing that I just need to understand is, so the real estate and personal property are at whatever mill rate we set, right?
Correct.
And then the motor vehicle is at
It's set by the state.
the 32.46, is that correct?
Right.
Correct. So when we increase that, the expenditures for just the capital,
Right.
which is the 132, we now have to cover 135,000, which would be probably 38.9 guesstimate.
Well, but what I'm trying to say, so that if I set up a formula, I just want to make sure that it's correct. Then if we set it at the mill rate of 38.2, right?
Yes.
And for the real estate and the personal property, right?
Correct.
And then 32.46 for the motor vehicle, right?
Correct.
That number should come out to this number, line item 610-6100, right? Which would be this 318. I mean 31,862,
But you
293.
have to add in the veteran excess, the senior tax breaks.
Add it or subtract it?
Well, you take the revenue from the property taxes. is here. If you see the formula, it goes up and references our grand list. Times 1,000 divided by our mill rate brings you to 26,000. The revenue from personal property tax is the same calculation. The revenue from motor vehicle pulls in the 32.46.
So then you have to.
If you look at the, if you
So
look
you're
at the,
subtracting the senior tax break, right?
Yes.
The tax, okay, all right, I got it, I can do this. I could do
on
that.
this spreadsheet, the cap mill rate is at 32.6, not 32.46.
Again, not my spreadsheet, but
No, I'm not pointing any fingers.
no,
I'm just trying to figure this out.
it's an error that should have been fixed ahead of time because you guys should be able to see that. And we are at 38.6.
Okay, vet senior tax. That's all we need. Just give me a second, I'm with you.
Thanks, Mark.
Doing more
I think
with
it's
less.
because there's 2 decimal points there between the 8 and the 6.
Thank you. I was wondering what that was. Extra set of eyes helps.
Okay, so less. So that's a static number, that 83,514?
Yes, that is a given number by the state. That's not something I can,
But it
It-
doesn't fluctuate with anything, right?
it might, but not on our spreadsheet.
All right, could you move that down? What's the veterans number?
178.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so less, okay. Shot in his head. Okay, so then the other. So. Right, so. Mhm. Okay, so can.
Something funny, Louise?
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought
I'm laughing because he's
Okay.
talking to the
Gotta get this
Italian.
no. Just want to make sure things are going good,
I feel terrible. I was upset that you guys couldn't make up your mind last night, so we were on there for 3 hours. Now it's my fault.
Nope. It's not nobody's fault. We're trying to get this thing done. That's why we have extra time for this.
It's a team effort.
That's it. Absolutely. We're here for the taxpayers. We want to figure this out.
I do know that with my calculations on my calculator and my friendly pencil back in my office, the difference went to 39.02 if we put both things in there.
Okay, my
It
question is, because I'm not good on these spreadsheets and stuff like that. So if we put it back to my original budget, all right, and then
Mr. Mayor, if I felt confident in the calculations in the spreadsheet, I would say yes, that would be a real quick, easy thing to do. But there's something wrong in the spreadsheet. When I make changes, it's not changing the bottom line.
Hold on 1 second. I'm almost there.
we got 20 million over here on Board of Education. which should be less. I mean, so there's certain things here that, unfortunately, I'm not big on spreadsheets, so.
I'm good on the ones I do myself, but this wasn't one of mine, so.
Yeah, because the Board of Ed originally was 19,375, 690.
Yeah, I think the problem there is if you look at the Board of Education grants, it should be 6,865, 690. It's 6,958, 708.
Which is the original, that should have been changed.
That's from the state, that 6,865.
That's, you know, thank you. You just caught, I think you caught the problem.
Oh, yeah. Okay, can I share this screen now?
Yep.
I would try to see this, but it's a little off of what I don't understand it, but it's hard to do this fast, so.
That's cool.
Okay, just 1 second. All right. Okay, so let me share this screen.
You're sharing your screen with your face, Mark.
That's what you call flexi dollars.
You're a good looking guy, brother. I love it.
Okay, so hear me out here. So I just can we just go through this?
Yep.
Is it okay if I do it? I'm not getting out of my lane here, right?
No,
I'll go
you're
for it.
awesome.
Please.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, so this is the city mill rate, right? The 38.2 is where we had it, right?
Yes,
Right? You see, I'm here. Let me do this. Just so we're all in the same thing here. I'm just trying to understand what we have here. Okay, right? So then we have the mill rate cap rate here, right? This line here, you see where the cursor is?
yep,
Okay, then we have the real estate grand list. That's from what the assessor had put in.
correct,
Then the personal property, that gives you a total, so that all goes in one number against one mill rate, right?
correct. Those both will go off the 0.0382,
Okay, then we have the motor vehicle, which goes against the other one, right?
correct,
And then this is the total of the real estate here, motor vehicle, personal property and motor vehicle,
correct,
right? That gives the 864,994 is the final grand list that she supported, right? That she submitted.
correct,
Okay. So then I go to this line, and this is if you see the formula, so D9 is real estate times D4, which is that 38.4 mill rate, right?
correct,
We're in agreement on that. This next one here is D10, which would be this number,
correct,
personal property times the 38.2. Right?
Yep.
That gives you that subtotal amount. Then the motor vehicle, this number here is the D13, which is the motor vehicle number here, times the motor vehicle rate, the capped rate from the state. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. So then that brings us to total income, taxable income of the 32,433, right? That formula looks right? D20, yeah, D20, the subtotal plus 22. So that's this number, right? Then we're gonna take out 1%, right? Because we're assuming the 99% collection rate.
Yes.
Okay, so that gives us total taxable of this 24, so 24 less and 26, right? Then we have these two tax numbers that right? So that gets us to 31,847,579.
correct.
Now that's off.
By the 0.5% that was in the cap. I saw
No.
that in the formula that was done before. I gave you the correct number of 32 point,
Or 6, right? That's what you said.
motivate, yeah, that's what it is, but the original formula had 32.5.
All right, so
that's
this,
what-
so the number that's in the income that was adopted is 31,862,000. I'm gonna put it over here just so we have 31,862,293. Right?
That,
Sorry. All right, right?
that difference should be the equivalent to the 0.04% between the 32.5 and the 32.46.
Right, but is this number wrong that was adopted or?
It's,
It must be because it was 3.6, not 3.46 in that original document.
yeah, like,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying too. as
Okay,
well.
no, I'm not looking at the document from what you adopted. What the preliminary adoption was.
But the preliminary budget is correct, that number probably should be the lower number. However, with that being said, the offset to the transition revenue should be increased. So even though the number's slightly off, the state transition number should offset that, because the difference between our mill rate and what the state funds us for the transition revenue on DMV
Right.
is the difference. So even though it's slightly off, it actually offsets within the budget. It wasn't a major concern for me, but it's still there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's 246,000 difference. I'm just trying to make sure I couldn't understand the compensating balance of it or whatever.
The difference between what the city bills out as our rate and what we have to cap by the state is recovered by the state of Connecticut in the transition revenue.
So then what I did here was I took the 3 million, what was in here, the 3,186 or 31,862. And I subtracted, I took the total number of 47,559,809 and subtracted the 31.
Well, Mark,
No, so this is how I got the other.
no,
income.
Mark, I think there's an error over here in this area. The difference is the 31,862 less the 32,109, the 32,188.47. So there's a difference of $20,000. It shouldn't be $200,000.
It says 32, with the way I see it, you have that 30.
Our line item is 31,861,293. The number you're coming up with is 31,847,579. Where are you getting this 32 from?
I'm sorry, I took the
Net
wrong.
taxable.
So it should be 31. Sorry.
No, it's, you know what? Trial and error tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to play like that, but that's all right.
Neither do I.
So, anyway, so it's 14,000 there. So, okay, so that's not, okay. So
And that will be picked up in the line item in the budget for the transition from the state.
so that's the taxable number here.
Correct.
Based on this formula. So
Correct.
do we need to add so this anticipated income is the difference between 47,559 and 31,862.
Right, and that would be your state revenue that comes in, which would,
That's this, yeah, this fifth, so I put that numbers, that's 15, not 15,697, 516. So we could either add, do you need to add or subtract 14,000 to that for?
I would add 14,000 into the state revenue on that, because that would go into the transition line item for the motor vehicle.
Add that in here. Right? Plus 14,714, right?
Yep.
And we'll carry it across. Bella, nice and nice.
Here's our nice number.
Okay, so that gives you the 459,809. Wow, okay, so there it is. There you go. So now, yeah, at 38.2, right? This is what you adopted. This yellow is what you adopted.
Correct.
Right? So now, if we add, I'll put it over here so we can see it. If you add capital, right? 135,274, right?
Yep.
Okay, so hold on. I didn't, this formula needs to change. So, D38, okay, D income. And then we're gonna put the 232,277 and add them up. Right? So we're gonna take, this should be the budget less the income. And that's what it is, right? No, wrong number.
No number.
Sorry. Oh my God.
Looking over your shoulders, I know.
No, that's okay. I mean, I've been,
Mark, thank you so much. You're amazing.
no problems. First thing I did right, probably in God knows how long. Anyway, so we take this. We do this, right?
So your working balance is the balance of those two line items you added in.
So that's what you're short, because don't forget
Correct.
the working balance is already in that budget number.
Correct.
So it's 367. So if we added it over here, so this is at the mill rate of 38.2, right?
Yes.
So if we add it over here, 35,274, 232,277, and we sum this. No. This.
All right, Nance,
Yes, sir.
I'm watching this, something like that. So from my original budget, I'm trying to figure out how, if you show the Board of Ed,
If you give me 2 seconds, I swear I have it.
oh, you are, okay, I'm just,
He's getting there. I see his formulas going.
okay.
Right?
Unfortunately, I cannot open the links that actually make the formula, the spreadsheet I was working on.
Oh,
work.
okay, all right,
So every time I make a change, it's not updating them.
all right.
So at the end of it, right? So if you add these in, right? Yeah, 927, yes, 360, yeah. So that gives you the same budget. And at this lower mill rate, you're short by, right? So I just want to say, it's a budget. Income, yeah, you're short by on the 38.2, if you add that in, you have to go, it's 38, you're short 367. If you go back to,
It would end up being a 38.22 mill rate. But like I said, because we're adjusting that mill rate on the motor vehicle to be the correct state one, you'd have to offset the revenue on the state side for the motor vehicle transition funds, which would net to zero, which would have a zero effect.
we did on the other one.
Yeah.
But if you add this in, then that's, so you're 67,000. If you kept the tax, say, if the stay at 38.6 kept them the same, you're $67,000 short. So,
Right, so you're going up like 0.4 mils.
well, or you could adjust the income. I mean, that's up to the board. That's the information. That's it.
So it's all right. So from there, it's a 0.4 reduction. So now, if they want to add, is I think what the board wants to see, if they're gonna add any taxes on it, I think they need to see the numbers.
That's it.
So if you go with the 38.6, which brings us back to the original without the 4 mil reduction, and you have that 67,000 shortfall, would it make sense to add that in the revenue side under property taxes, such a small number that you can out the budget?
I wouldn't put it under property taxes. I would put it under the state transition income.
Okay, yeah, and then
So
it balances out your revenue.
Because that
and expense.
difference we're gonna receive from the state, because they cap, well, we hope we're gonna get it from the state, because they cap our motor vehicle.
So then
And in that case, then taxes remain flat.
Pretty much.
So we would add, say, 67,052 to this line. You see where my cursor is here, this line 36.
Yes, that would be part of the state.
I mean, the whole thing, but then you could correct the individual line if you had to.
Correct.
Okay, that's the best I could do in this time period. Sorry.
That was amazing, Mark.
So, no
Good
problem.
job, Mark.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. It's my job. Let's just do my job.
So the, excuse me, the bottom line is that if we do this calculation, the mill rate will stay at 38.6.
We should have it stay stable, yes.
And that's with. What are you adding onto this for?
That's adding in the 134, the 135, 274 for general capital and 232, 277 for the Board of Ed.
Okay, so the capital you guys are still harping on because so you want to keep taxes the same and put a reserve in for unforeseen monies for capital, which I don't understand why you're doing it because as Nancy explained last night, capital did not, in which we haven't met, but I couldn't get a quorum and just foreseen, like, God forbid something, I don't see adding an extra money onto that, so.
And most of the capital requests that actually came in we could actually turn around and grab a lease, fund it for the first year through ARPA, maybe even 2 years through ARPA, and then go 4 years out or 3 years out to finish the lease out and budget later on. I mean, a lot of those funds can be used, and we are approaching a point where we need to actually start to expend them. So.
Yeah, and it's the 64,000 is still left in capital that we originally put in there.
Right.
What is that 64 for?
Those are leases that are still outstanding.
From last night, we were talking about Jen.
As we pay off the leases, we reduce the amount of the capital unless you guys approve more capital expenditures. Right now, those are the numbers that the lease company gave me as next year's numbers that I have to pay off. And again, the following year, those are going to be reduced again unless you guys approve capital plans and put leases in place that I have to put money there for.
Does that also include the road bond that we're going out for the 3 million?
That has nothing to do with the general fund at this
Okay.
point. It's not even out there. It'll be bond fund, and it'll be designated as a bond fund and only used for the purpose of the roads.
Okay.
Anything left afterwards can roll into the fund balance, but I don't foresee that happening.
And you guys understand we have a fund balance of what, Nancy, over 10%?
I think it was
At
6
least.
million change.
Right. So when, if you understand 6 years ago when I took over, we're 2.4 million in the hole. So we have a great fund balance. All right. So just to let you know, God forbid we have to go into it, which I don't expect we're going to have to go into it at all. But I was able to get it back up to a 6 million. So
Our bond rating is up from 4 years ago. Our pension fund is funded at 81% as of last fiscal year, which is a huge plus. Most towns aren't even close to that.
Right. And
We've been
they're
doing really
still
good.
I wanted to see if we can make a motion for the general capital so we can get through with this and make a motion that the 135, 274 gets put into the general capital.
So you want to put more money into tapping into the taxpayers, Roberto? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I second the motion, Roberto.
Wow, both of you guys want to add more money onto our taxpayers. Okay. As long as the taxpayers know that you guys want to put more tax money onto them. All right. This is good to know. After we have a great fund balance.
All right.
After when I took over,
No,
after Jen
no.
DeRoche, stop. After we took over this city and there was 2-point-something million in the hole,
Rude.
and we brought it back up here. That's good to know. I want the taxpayers to know that you guys want to add more tax money onto these people. Good.
Okay, can we carry out with our motion now, please?
I'm sorry, I'm a little, it's Isa Simmons Derby. Could you
ahead,
just
Isa.
go over on, in regards to adding more taxes to the, taxpayers? Could we
Oh,
go over that,
absolutely.
like, quickly?
Absolutely. They want to add another 134,000 onto capital for no reason, but they think it's great to put it onto the taxpayers' shoulders. So
I thought
unless
actually-
Roberto and Jen, stop already. So unless Jen, stop. I'm gonna
Stop talking.
tell Mark mute her right now because obviously she's not listening to what I'm telling her. So
I
listen.
don't think Jennifer was talking, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, that was me. That was Isa Simmons Derby. Sorry.
Okay. So Isa, so if they want to explain why they want to put more money on it for no reason, they can, but we have 2-point-something million dollars in ARPA money.
Yeah,
For
because
some reason,
I-
they want to put it on the shoulders of
yeah, I just wanted to say, like, yes, I would like an explanation, because if we have some funds available with inflation and things like that, I don't know if that's fair. And if we have more money that we could utilize, maybe that would be better, only because, the economy is not doing too well right now.
100%.
So I would like to hear the explanation.
I would love to have Jen.
I actually will
explain
give you,
this,
can I give you one example? One
No, I'm-
example of the ARPA fund is for safety. Things like our public works that need new vehicles and such, like a street sweeper that we do not have right now because it's broke. And our streets look like crap, to tell you the truth, and I'm sorry for saying that, but they do. We are in desperate need of something like that. And ARPA does not cover that. So if we go into capital, we could actually fund a little bit of that and go on a lease program. That's just one thing.
You're correct.
Excuse me, but it was your understanding that said that you were not going to purchase one because it was $300,000 and you were going to pay $22,000 a year. So which is it?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. You have to order one first. You have to go and look at the lease programs and everything else. What's cheaper?
So how long have we not had this?
It's been out of commission for a year now.
And we've been using Ansonia's.
No, we have
Yeah.
not.
But
So what have we been doing?
see, that's a
in
mutual,
the-
see, one good thing about cities, mutual agreement. Mutual agreement with fire departments, police departments, stuff like that. We work together. So when a city is hurting a little bit, the other city helps us out. So that's what we need to, like, concentrate on. That's what we're doing here. So we help each other out. So when we can get it, we're gonna get it.
Can we clarify something that the mill rate is gonna stay at 38.6?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna up it up, these two things. Nancy, is that what it's gonna be?
If you guys, that's your choice.
Yeah, it'll
No,
stay
I'm
flat.
asking, if the board wants to up it 0.4 mils
From your
from my
budget,
budget, that's what it's gonna be? So
That's-
if the board wants to up it up, right?
Well,
based
but-
on the spreadsheet that Mark did tonight, that's exactly what it looks like.
Well, but I just, may I, just say that currently, so for the new members, currently the mill rate is at 38.6.
Right,
So if the way the mayor's budget was, it brought it down to 38.2. If you
Yes.
add these two things back in, the vote of this board would be to keep the mill rate the same. So the mill rate would not be going up. If you add. If you don't add it, it'll go down slightly.
Right, so it is staying where it is right now currently based on last year's, and then this year's. I made the motion and Jennifer seconded, and we're discussing it now.
right.
Right.
All
And I
right, so,
believe the difference for each taxpayer would be somewhere around $64 per taxpayer. On a house assessed at $160,000, I believe that's what was printed.
If it went down, if it went down,
If it went down, but if we stayed the same, then
it would be, yeah.
you're not saving $64 per taxpayer. I just want people to realize that
Right.
we're not talking hundreds of dollars per taxpayer here.
No, I understand that the money is not a lot of money, but then you have to take in count of other responsibilities that people have. You know what I mean? So it might be a small amount, but you don't know what that household has to pay out.
Right, no, I was just doing it as a clarification point because I didn't
Oh,
know if you
no,
knew
thank
what
you.
that amount was. I didn't know if you were thinking it
No,
was
no, no, no.
$300 or
No, thank you.
$400. It's 64, just for a point of clarification.
No, no, no. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is that Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Thank you.
all right, so. So the revenue and so the pleasure of the board right now is, Roberto, do you have it?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Is the motion to fund that general capital and the Board of Education.
Here's the point of, or you need to do it in two votes.
And 2 votes for each, can't do both of them.
You can do them both, you just need to do them.
Well, I
Let's do
think,
one at a time, the general
Yeah.
capital.
You already made a motion, it was a motion and a second to add 135,274 to line item 3,700, 440, 446 to make that capital
200.
200,000, which is the same as it is this year.
All
So
right,
there's a motion and a second. So now you gotta either discuss or vote.
all right. Go ahead. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm not hearing. You know something, Louise? I got background music here. Can you do a roll call, please?
Just a moment. Mr. Alberto? Mr. Alberta?
Yes.
Yes, you're in favor of motion.
But it's yes or no. You don't have to query them. Just yes or no. That's it.
Mr. Carloni?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Roche?
Yes,
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Miss Mancini, right?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Bertoso?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons Derby?
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous.
Okay, so then we'll go for, what's the next motion for the Board of Ed?
Number, I'm not quite sure. It's
I'll
237.
make a motion.
Yeah.
I'll make
Go
a
ahead.
motion to amend the proposed amount in line 0.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, Mr. Gray. So,
Yeah.
so then that you would need another motion then to adopt this final number for capital at 379,273.
That's correct. All right, so I have a motion to accept the capital.
I'll make
Aye,
that motion.
Roberto.
All right, second.
I'll
Chris.
second it, Jennifer.
All right, all in favor?
I'm
Aye.
sorry, two people were talking. I don't know who seconded it.
Chris, Carloni.
Chris and Jennifer.
I
You
had
got that,
Roberto.
Louise?
Roberto made the motion. Who made the second?
Jennifer.
Chris.
Thank
Chris.
you.
Take one of these.
Jennifer.
Chris.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so carried.
Okay.
Now, Board of Ed.
Oh, God.
Mike,
Mike, go ahead.
So I'll make a motion to amend the proposed amount in line 100-0100 to be increased by $232,276.
All right, do I have a second?
I second it, Jennifer.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes, I do have a discussion again.
All right,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. But I still have a very big problem with giving them extra money above the proposed budget, with them having in the last 8 years, 289 students less. That is, that's just a very sore subject, only because there's so many students. That's like losing a school, and we're still funding them. They have over $2 million more than in 2015-16, which is the year I'm talking about. That's all I have to say.
All right, any other discussion on it? Louise, can you do a roll call vote on that, please?
We need a second.
Or a second, I'm sorry,
I
second.
seconded it.
yeah, Jennifer
Jennifer.
seconded.
Jen already did, I'm sorry, Jen already did. So Louise, roll call, please.
Mr. Alberta?
Yes.
Mr. Carloni?
No.
Mr. Roche?
Yes,
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Miss Mancini, right?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Bertoso?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Simmons Derby?
Yes.
I have one dissent and 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 yes.
Okay,
Motion carries.
all right, so now,
Need another motion to change the total.
So I'll make a motion to accept $19,607,966 for the Board of Education budget.
and who is
I
that?
second.
That was Mike.
Mike, second.
Roberto.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me, Chris.
Chris, anybody else? All right, so carried. No, yeah. I gotta get back to the agenda. Sorry, everybody. All right, so the 2023, 2024 needed. Final adoption of the budget, expenditures, revenue, and mill rate.
The revenue's not in balance yet.
Revenue's not.
You guys have not voted on changing the revenue.
Okay. All right, so the next is for revenue. So we have to go back to the revenue to adopt a revenue on this stuff for the expenditures.
Am I correct? Can you repeat the number you approved on the budget for the expenditures?
It's up on the top of the screen here. The revenue is 47.
Don't have it on
No,
there.
I'm looking for the expenditures.
Yep, it is 47,927,359.
What screen am I looking at? Because I've got like 3 of them up here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't share it. Yeah, I beg your pardon. There, sorry. I didn't, it was one button I forgot to press.
Minute. So expenditures is 47,927,359. Okay.
59.
Right, so hold on, I gotta look at this other screen here. So then you would have to make, as we said before, right, the total. So,
Needs a motion to increase the anticipated income by that 16,000, right?
well, yeah, hold on one second. So 32, 736, 9. No, total net 32. Sorry, 32, 148, 078. Yeah, okay, so if we did that, okay. That's, yeah, okay. So it would be, let's go back to the other spreadsheet so that we have the detail one here. All right, so this number here, you'd have to increase this line. Nancy, stay with me now. Want to make sure everybody's eyes are on this.
That line you would not increase because you're not change. Well, yeah, you would because you're changing the mill rate back to the 38.6. So that number would have to change.
That has to go back to that. I'm going to put it in here. 32, 148,078. Right?
Correct.
Hold on, I can't take this.
That's a big number for property taxes. Can we have that for real?
No, you gotta fix that, Mark.
Yeah, right. Oops, sorry. Sorry.
Next number in there.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Actually, if we can get that number, we can give you everything you want.
You all get a raise?
Yep.
Yeah, right. We'll get run out of town. 38. Yeah, okay, that's correct. So now, in
You can turn around and increase the. If you scroll down just a little bit.
Yep.
The anticipated transition motor vehicle, that was based on us billing at 32.5, and we're actually billing at 30. It's an increase of 0.04%.
so 37, 12,
It's the 14,000 number that you came up with.
oh, that was that 4. Okay. All right, I was going to do 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, 5 plus 4%.
No, 0.04%.
That brings you. 0.04%. Doesn't, that's, that's the 14,000? Mayor, you're laughing. This is a riot.
No, I was just coughing. Trust me,
Nothing.
I'm not laughing.
All right.
I was a math guy too, but I appreciate what you're doing. Trust me.
No
I,
problem.
I cried with college math.
I'm sorry, so let's. Okay, so.
Actually, you're right. I think it's
It's gotta be 40%, or based on the mill rate, right?
0.4.
0.4. No, plus 40%. Right? Yep.
you're not going to put 40% of 714,000 in there.
At 40.4.
0.4% or 0.4?
Well, we calculated at 32.5 and it's actually 32.46. So the difference is 0.04% or
Oh, that's the
0.04
difference.
mils
That's that different, okay.
would be the difference that you'd increase what the state's going to give us. If they give it to us.
So is it 15,000 a number that makes sense?
That makes sense.
712 455 plus 15,000. Okay.
So our total revenues are now at the bottom line is what?
That's
You're still off slightly.
I'm at 47927 359 less 47860 594. It's 66,765.
Which is that number on the other spreadsheet.
Right here. Yep. That's it.
So you can't keep the mill rate flat and still do both of what you want.
Or you can adjust one of the other income lines.
You
No, I'm just that.
guys, honestly, based on the trend of what's going on, let me look at the historical records. Hold on one sec. Ugh. We're budgeted for supplemental coming in at what? Even at 506?
893.
That I wouldn't touch that. Prior year tax collections, you're at 250,000. Previous years, you've been at 200,000. Suspension collections. Because your collection rate is so high, you're at 99%, which is like really good for the state. You really don't have any playroom on your collection numbers to increase. And because we have no capital projects on the block right now, and LOSIP is based on the contracts they received, that's a given. The next 4 line items are all state. I mean, you could put a little bit. You could put a little bit in building because we are expanding. I wouldn't put the whole thing there. Because as everybody develops new land and property, we'll see an increase in that area.
That's 660-6604.
Let me go back to that page.
I'm sharing it here.
Yeah, building is consistently, they've been 300, 175, 265, 161, and we've got them at 150. So you can up them a little bit. And that's the 6604. That's reasonable. We do have a lot of expansion that's going on right now. So you could probably put another 10 to 20,000 in there and reasonably expect to get it. Not a guarantee.
Where else do you want to look at?
I'm going through line item by line item. What's our guarantee? I've already pushed the town clerk to the max, so that's out of the question.
No pun intended.
You know, idealistically, because, but you have to offset it at the other end, is private outside work you could increase, but keep in mind, every time you get something from outside work, you're expending it out. So it's not a good idea to do that unless you decide to change the way you bill out.
My opinion, take the capital back out. And
At
you're
least
back to where you have to go.
say too, because right now I'm stretching it.
I mean, and now this is where Jen's saying, oh, you're stretching stuff.
Well, that's
This
what you're
is-
asking me to do.
Yeah,
You're-
that's what
You're
that's
asking
what-
me to stretch stuff.
And I wouldn't do it. I mean, so unless you want to raise taxes on the citizens, I won't even stretch any of this. So
This is-
if you guys want to increase taxes, you do it. But take that capital out. I think we're under, we can give a little tax relief. And I don't care if it's 20, 50, 60, $90, it's something in our pockets. The state, the feds are taking everything from us.
And keep in mind, the state doesn't adopt their budget until May.
Exactly.
So what we have for state numbers are not a guarantee.
Right.
They can go plus or minus when they decide to change their mind. And because most of the capital can be funded out of the ARPA to start up, I agree with the mayor. I think, I could put $10,000-$20,000 into building and would pray that people are building new properties, but
If we
Again.
catch them and stuff like that.
Well,
we're
we're
pushing
supposed
it.
to have an explosion of building, right?
Hey, we're
We
trying,
like
Jen, we're trying, as long as
Right,
you guys
so
help
that
us.
would be a good place to put it.
Yeah,
You
imagine
know,
that. If it
Everything's
does-
happening on the
Let me ask you a question, Jen.
downtown.
Let me ask you a question, Jen. So if I tell you guys, yeah, it's good to up the building permits budget, but to cover your deficit and it doesn't come through, where are you gonna be with me at the end of the year when I'm telling you we need to pull from the fund balance?
I say
Well,
go back to.
Where are you
go
gonna
back-
be with anything else if it doesn't
Go
come
back
up
to
with
Jen,
what
go
we
back to
want?
Jen and find out where the money is.
Well,
Maybe
but
she'll put it there.
But I could make the same argument for the town clerk receivables.
But
So-
at least you achieved that, and it is on record. I said I can bump up the building department because of what we anticipate. Same thing with you. Those are the only two line items I can see moving forward.
Well, but so then you're down to $35,000. So, I mean, now we're just splitting hair. We could stay here all night.
Exactly.
Split hairs.
If-
You know, and then you know what, Mark, and I'm telling you, you were doing this back in the day. Get that capital out, give the citizens a little break, and then let's move on. But for some reason, you guys are fixated on 134,000. I mean, we took care of
Because
the.
we want an honest budget.
Oh, and Jen, we're doing it on this budget. I got a person here that's at 30 years in finance, all right? I don't know how many years you did finance, okay? Maybe you can
little
tell
older
me,
than
but I don't,
she
whoever's
is.
telling you your information is wrong. So
I'm a
this is
little
what we're
older
gonna
than
do.
she is, and I think tonight's spreadsheet debacle kind of gives you an idea.
All right.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Jennifer, I've
Go
already
on.
apologized for that.
Okay,
And
all right.
I'll take it to my grave that mistake happened, but I've
Well-
already apologized.
I
And
wouldn't
also-
have said it if the mayor isn't going on and starting to
no, I
attack.
am going on and
How
on,
much
Jen,
I
because
have
I'm gonna give you your information, so stop already. So you wanna
Okay,
continue
stop.
with the 200,000?
Girl.
Mark, will you shut her down right now because I'm talking? That's why I wish we had face-to-face meetings. She
Alright.
wouldn't be like this. But anyway, so what I'm telling you, this is my meeting, Jen. Until you're mayor, I'm mayor. So this is the meeting right now. So
Rude.
what I'm saying right now is that if you back off on the capital, I think we have a great budget. I don't know what your big deal is on this, but that's where I'm gonna stay on this. So if you want to raise taxes on the citizens, go for it.
Mr.
Nancy,
Mayor,
And that's the last thing I'm gonna say on it.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chair, may I make a suggestion, just an observation? Can I?
Who's
may I?
this? Who's talking?
Mark Garfalo?
Okay.
Perhaps, there's a difference of 67,000, perhaps a way to do it, if you split the difference, put 30,000 in the, or some amount in the building department and reduce the capital. Or, I mean, you're talking about $30,000.
I know that's ridiculous, Mark. I understand that. So
I'm
reduce
just
the
saying.
capital and let's keep moving forward because listen, Jen, do you understand when I took over this government, we were 2 million in the hole. We have a fund balance of 6
think
million.
you're wrong
Jen.
there.
Do you understand that, Jen? That's
No,
what
I
you need
don't.
to understand.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
You should understand that.
I do not.
Have your people talk to you and understand you a little bit. All right. So listen. So we have money in the fund balance. Okay. So can we please reverse that? Get this budget, save some money for the citizens, and then we're going to put some more money into the education. So if you want to continue on this, Jen, go for it. Have your people tell you what I don't know what they're telling you right now. Go online and tell them what you want to do. Because obviously you don't know what you're doing.
Mr. Mayor, another option is, you could appropriate it from this fund balance. If there's a big fund balance, 67,000.
Listen, there is a fund. I'm not going into the fund balance because that's what happened prior to me being mayor. We were 2.2 million in the hole.
No,
And
you can
everybody
go.
gets that. Now we have a great fund balance. I do not want to revert back to what the previous administration did. So I'm going to tell you, stop already. All right. Get off the capital, do what we're supposed to do and give the citizens a tax break, please.
I just
All right.
wanna-
So do what you got to do right now. If you want to play with numbers, do it. But I don't agree what you're trying to do, Jen, right now. So go for it.
But that's okay, that's what we're here tonight to discuss it. And this is good education for everybody. We don't need to be getting down each other's throat on this. We can just look at a couple of more items and see where we can pull it from. So, get it done.
Can I just say something? This is Isa Simmons Derby. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
Go
just,
ahead.
I'm trying to follow what's happening. And I don't know if I don't want to vote the wrong way, but I do agree with the mayor where I don't want to put extra burden on the taxpayers, period. And I don't want to revert back to doing and I wasn't here, so I don't know what the old administration did or whatever. But if you were in a hole or whatever, I don't want to do that. I want to ensure that we give education, more money to the education. But I don't want to stress the taxpayers out. So I'm just a little, because everything is going so fast, I don't know. I don't want to be voting the wrong way.
Thank you, Isa.
I have my hand raised.
Yeah, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Nancy.
Just a little quick note on the fund balance. We are already on the radar for the state. We are almost mandatory on MFAC meetings. Our fund balance and our contributions and fund balance for the pension, it's what's giving us a good bond rating. And it's what is moving us forward. So I highly recommend against taking anything out of the fund balance.
Absolutely. We're not doing that. As long as I'm mayor, we are not taking out of the fund balance because we're not going in the hole again.
Except for the last 2 years. I mean,
I
come
was
on.
gonna
you're telling
say,
one
last
side-
year we took 900,000 out.
Come on, this is.
No, we did not.
We're above 10%, Jen.
We did not take
above
900.
The rest of it
10%.
go.
Well,
We did
we were
not-
above 10%. We had 12% in there, and that's what took us, got us in there. So
We did not take money out of the fund balance last year.
Yeah, and with all due respect, 972,000 was appropriated for the fund balance.
It was not
right,
used.
we didn't use it. So
Well, how do we know
There
we
we
didn't
go.
use it?
So
It
anyways.
was used to calculate the mill rate.
But
was
we
used-
didn't use it. It goes back into the fund balance.
it went back into the fund balance, which we're still above 10%, Mark, which we weren't
No, look, I'm
previous
not.
administration.
look,
All right,
look,
listen, we're stop. Everybody stop. Figure out what you want to do right now. So you want to raise taxes, you guys raise taxes. That's what I'm gonna say right now. Do what you have to do. Figure out where you want the money to come out of, play your games on revenue, do what you gotta do.
Oh my God.
Go ahead. What, Mark, you wanna laugh? Go ahead. Play with your revenue here. Get the capital out and we're good.
Look, I'm not on board, but I mean.
All
like,
right, so stop that already, all right? Stop
stopping. Talk
instigating
about
these
playing
people.
with these
Stop.
things. The election's in November. Let's deal with April today, please.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to deal with our taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer here too, so stop. So let's go, please. So what do we have to, what do you want to do now, people? This is your budget. I gave you my budget. You want to raise taxes, do what you got to do.
Nancy, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Thank you. I've been trying to get in, but I'm not as vibrant as everybody else. With respect to the parking garage daily receipts,
Yes.
is that the income that's anticipated 105? Or what, can you explain that to me, please?
That is
49?
the,
Yeah, go
based
ahead.
on what I've received thus far this year, that's anticipated to what I believe is going to come in. I do not believe it's going to go lower. It might go higher because their expenditures as they took over are reducing, but that's not a guarantee. The parking garage is falling apart, so I'm not going to bank on the fact that the expenditures aren't there. You know, until we get that contract in place to renovate the garage. Yeah, I'm gonna be conservative on that. I think 110,000 is a reasonable number to anticipate for next year.
Thank you for explaining that. And Mark, you had mentioned something about the town clerk's receivable.
And that's already maxed out. So that was maxed out.
I can't raise that anymore. That's at last year's actuals. And I, in good conscience, couldn't even go over that if I tried.
Chris, can you go down on the capital?
The taxes aren't raised, they're flatlined. Taxes are not going up.
We're trying not to, Jen. I don't know what you want to do,
Like
but I'm trying to keep them
$60,000.
flat. I mean, you're trying to play games with the revenue right now, so I don't know.
We need $67,000. I liked Mark's idea. Mark said, go 50-50, split it between reducing the capital increase and giving a little bit more over to the building department, which is a reasonable. I think 30,000 is reasonable for the building department.
What do you
Considering
think, Jen?
I
Jen,
like
would you-
that idea too.
Jen, would you do that? Did Mark tell you to do that? Can you do that?
No, Mr. Mayor, please
No,
don't.
I won't.
Please don't be a
Oh,
wise
I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Thing
So
is, you
Jen,
put it that
is
way.
that good?
No, I won't.
Jen, is that good or no? I'm sorry.
No, no.
Okay.
You got some coglione, man.
I know. If he wants to start accusing me of things like that, no, I won't. No.
Now you're accusing me of stuff.
I
so-
may have, but
This
no,
is such a
not now.
disgrace. Such a disgrace.
It is.
Boys and girls, calm
Can
down.
can I say something? This is Ice Simmons Derby.
you're
Absolutely.
resigning.
No, I'm not resigning. No. I feel like it is a lot of tension, but remember, we're here for the taxpayers and the people of Derby. So we have to put our differences aside, right? And try to, kind of like just move forward. And I know that I haven't been here, so I don't know what happened and why people are angry with each other. But we really, just for the new people, let's just try to move forward. And I think it's Nancy and
Yes.
Jennifer. You guys should go out together and hash it out, because you guys probably have more in common than not, So we really got to try to push forward. You know what I mean? Because then it gets
Thank you,
kind of like,
Isa.
I don't know what's going on.
Can I
All
make a,
right.
can I make a
I
motion?
said, thank you. You brought us back down to, I apologize. So go ahead. So
No, that's okay.
where are we going to come to a common ground for the citizens of Derby? That's what they're listening to us right now.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a suggestion with a motion?
We are.
Go ahead.
Make a suggestion and a motion to take 37,000 out of the capital and put 30,000 into the building.
All right, do I have a
So,
second on that?
no, but the we need to do the mechanics of this. But we need to do the mechanics of this. So
Yeah.
The mechanics of it need to be, you would have to increase, line item 610, 6100 to 32,148, 178. Then increase line item 610, 6112 to $727,455. And then add, what was it, Mr. Santos?
30,000.
So make item number 660, 6604, 180,000. Right? And that you need to make that motion first. If you're all in agreement, you can do that in one shot if you don't think there's any commotion with that.
I make a motion to do that change, but you
Could
just
you
done.
repeat them?
Oh,
Could you
no.
just repeat them? Because he lost me. He was going so fast.
Oh, God. They're on the screen.
sorry.
They're on the screen. Okay.
I
You
can
can-
make a motion if you don't
can't
mind.
write
Go ahead, Mike.
This is Mike Gray. I'll make the motion to increase line item 6106100 to $32,148,078. Increase 6106112 to $727,455. And increase 6606604 to 180,000.
I second that motion.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Roberto, do apologize.
Thank
Any
you.
discussion on that? All right, where does that put us, Nance?
We still have another 37,003 or two something, I don't have a calculator in front of me, in expenses that have to be reduced from the capitals.
And that's where we're gonna go to now. I'd like to make a motion.
No. You need to vote on this motion first.
All right, can I have a motion, or we have a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Who's that?
Jennifer.
All right,
Jennifer.
Jen. Okay, Jen. So what do we got, Louise? 8-1?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So now go ahead, Roberto.
On to capital funds.
Yep.
Wait till she gets there.
No, it's not she, it's he. He's doing it.
I'm sorry. Do apologize.
Yep, it's okay.
Reduce that by 36,765. Your budget should match.
Thank you.
36,765.
Correct.
Let's get to the line item, please.
4400446. What was that number, Nancy?
36,765.
Uh,
The line item will be now 163,235.
All right, so I have a motion from Roberto. Do I have a second?
Second. Kristen Wright?
All right, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me, Jennifer.
Okay. Is that 8-1 again?
Yes.
All right. So now, we got all that, so we have to.
We got expense.
So we have to adopt the final budget now, expenses, revenue, and mill rate. Is that correct, or, Nance? So can we adopt the
Typically,
expenses?
just for the benefit of the new members, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yep,
So you've gone through each department, you made the changes. Typically, there's one vote on the expenses, on the total, one vote on the revenue, and then to set the mill rate. So
right,
3 more votes.
right. So we're gonna do the expenses. So can I have a number on the expenses, Mark or Nancy,
So
please?
the expenses would be 47,890,594.
Can I have a motion to accept?
Roberto,
Second,
Mike Gray.
Alberta.
Mike Gray got it first. All right, all in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Revenue,
47,890,594.
can I have a motion?
Roberto, motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Who is the second? I'm sorry.
Kristen Mancini?
Kristen, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Mill rate, Nance,
I was looking for Mark's spreadsheet, if you can put it back up on the screen.
Yep.
I believe the mill rate stays the same, but I could be mistaken.
Drum roll, please.
Right, it would be, that would be the mill rate would stay the same at 38.6.
Correct.
Nancy,
Yes, I agree with that.
with the state motor vehicle, personal property and everything, correct?
Correct.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept 38.6?
Roberto, make the motion.
Second,
Mike Gray.
Mike Alberta.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Listen, I want to thank you guys for everything you've done. It was long and tedious. We've done good. So
You done it.
we're here, so we're moving forward. So
If I may make a comment before
motion.
we
Go ahead,
adjourn,
Roberto.
I just want to thank everybody, even the people from the public who sustained most of the good, I call it good problems that we're dealing with, and people who care about the city and the hours we put in and the differences were discussed, and finally, we come up with this budget. We'll continue to work together as best as possible so that everything can help the people of Derby, specifically the kids in the schools. So thank
Absolutely.
you very
You know
much,
what?
everybody involved.
I'm gonna give a final quote to Doc Conway. Go ahead, sir. Worked with you for 6 years so far, so go for it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank this entire committee. Your due diligence, as Roberto said, the hours that you have put in. The people of this city need to realize what you go through, the sacrifices you make with your own family, your own work to make sure that the citizens of Derby are well represented. It's been an incredible journey with you through this budget. And I can't say enough about each of you and what it means to myself and to our kids with this budget that you have passed for the education budget, but also for this entire city. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. All right. Thank you, everybody. Jim, good seeing you again up there. Everybody else.
Do we have
We
a,
have
Tara?
a
you have-
motion.
Jeremy,
I do apologize. We have a, Tara, you want to say something?
who?
Tara Hyder?
No, she's not on the board.
I think she was clapping to Dr. Conway's comments.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Tara, go ahead.
Mr.
I didn't see you on there, Tara, sorry.
Yeah, I was actually just using my icon clapping to Dr. Conway's comments to just reiterate my appreciation for this board and all that you have done to support the needs of our students and our taxpayers. I appreciate your volunteerism and the time that you put into this and all that you endure.
All right, Tara.
And
That's
Mr.
the
Mayor,
last one. We're gonna go for an adjournment.
I don't
Just-
get to say one thing.
just myself,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Mark.
Mark, let me just say really quick, Mr. Mayor, thank you for working with us and the board, with everybody on the board.
Oh, absolutely. It was a good time. We had fun.
Yeah, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark. I'll let you give you a last quote, and then we're going for adjournment.
All right, good. The kitchens are still open, so that's good. I just never did I think today when I got up that I would be hearkening back to my days on the tax board with Mr. Conlon, where we were trying to do this by hand or on the fly. So thank you for the rekindling some happy memories of when we did the budget by hand.
Absolutely.
May I offer some, and to thank the board for their consistent support and attention to detail. May I offer some feedback, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I offer this feedback and ask people to go back and listen to these. I offer the feedback to ask people to go back and listen to these recordings, and ask us all to re-examine how we conduct ourselves, because the way that women are spoken to in these meetings is not acceptable. So I just offered that as something to think about. It's been consistent, and frankly, it's appalling. So I just offer that as some observation and feedback. But
Yeah, no
thank
problem.
you.
I don't know who's disrespecting women, but I would never. So.
My God.
It was
I
you,
mean-
Mr.
So
Mayor.
anyway, so can I get a motion?
I make
I
a
would
motion
never.
to adjourn.
Yeah, go ahead, Roberto.
I just make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second.
Patel.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, take care.
Night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
It's 8:15 p.m.
Okay, hey, I'm Eugene Driscoll, valleyindy.org. That was the meeting of the Derby Tax Board. They adopted a budget, right? It was a $47.8 million budget. No tax increase in Derby. The mill rate stays at 38.6. The news of the meeting was the mayor had proposed a budget that had a slight mill rate decrease of 0.4 mils. That would have saved, if your house is assessed at $160,000, would have been about a $64 in savings. But they decided to spend a little bit more money on the Board of Education and capital expenses. In terms of, it obviously got a little personal there, a little rambunctious. I can see it in all the comments there. I will just offer, as a fat old man who's been covering local meetings since 1998, at least it's happening in public. Say what you will about the way people behave. It's better than a rubber stamp and backroom deals. The fact that it's transparent and it is what it is, but that's that. It's really not all that different than what I've seen for the last, 25 years at this point. But that being said, I am going to end this now because I have to write up this story and I don't want to make a mistake like I did last night. I did make a mistake. I didn't realize. I thought when they would add all that in, I thought Walt Mayhew had said last night it would result in a 1.1 mill rate increase. He said 0.1. I just simply misheard it. I apologize for that. And they actually had told me, but I didn't look at my text until this meeting was underway. So sorry about that. Never like to make mistakes, but it happens. I guess I can read some of the comments here. We have Amy Lynn. This is a tough view from the room. Julia Soda, there's serious bullying going on here. Colleen Finch, yes, Mayor, we are listening. We were appalled at your behavior. Close your mouth and listen. Let both do their job and discuss. Stop being a bully. He doesn't care if we're appalled. Derby, please make a vote to change. He should never speak to anyone the way he does. Kevin, there are issues with more than the mayor, but also certain members of the board. It's so obvious. Julia Soto, this bizarro world. Are you asking us to clap? Yes, I am. I am asking. No, I'm just kidding. Gino Di Giovanni, alderman in second ward, mayoral candidate, says, "Oh yeah." Rachel Paradiso, absolutely. I'm not sure what this is. These are old comments going. There's no context because they're posted at the time things were being said. A couple of thank you. No, thank you. Did you re-listen to it? Sounded like one. No, I didn't. I didn't re-listen to it. I just went with what my notes and what I thought I heard, but it sounded like that to you. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. That's where Zoom. If you're going to do a meeting on Zoom, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but obviously you got to have a decent microphone and a webcam that works. The other thing, there was 30, at one point we got up to 38 live viewers for a marathon meeting of a tax board, which I think is pretty good. I know there are people saying that this should be in person. I agree with that, but I also think it should, I'm biased though, obviously. I'm an online newspaper, so I like the online part of it. We had more people watching here on Facebook than were in the meeting, and obviously most of the people in the meeting are elected officials. Tara Hyder says, grateful for Mark Garofalo for fixing Walt's errors and showing our new finance person how to do her job. Okay. All right. I'm going to write this up. Thank you so much for watching. That's that.